Let's move on to the next spot. That is Detroit Lions at Chicago Bears. Detroit Lions 0-3, 0-1 on the road at Chicago Bears 1-2, 1-0 at home. Soldier Field in Chicago, Illinois, 68 Fahrenheit. Chance of showers, 8 miles per hour is the wind. We have the Bears opening up as 3.5-point favorites. That's moved to 3. This total opened up at 44. There's now 42.5s and 42s on the board. Let's move over to the cash. 6,481 tickets in. 78% of the tickets and 94% of the cash are on the Detroit Lions. Wow, that's on the spread. But wow. 70% of the tickets on the over, 97% of the cash on the over, and yet it's dropped a point or so. Lions come in off a 19-17 heartbreaking home loss that saw Justin Tucker hit an NFL record 66-yard field goal. And yes, the clock had hit 0. It was probably a penalty, but these things happen. Don't leave it to a final play like that. Jared Goff, 22 of 30 for 217 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. Khalif Raymond was his main target, 6 catches for 68 yards. Ravens made a point of shutting down T.J. Hawkinson, 2 catches for 10 yards. DeAndre Swift was questionable going in, and he looked very good. Ran 14 times for 47 yards, caught 7 passes for 60 yards. They sacked Lamar Jackson 4 times, hit him 6 times. That's not easy. Dan Campbell was very upset after the game because the play clock was at 0, whatever. Goff said this after the game, and I like this. There's a few quotes that I pulled out for today's show, and I like Goff's. He said, I know this city and franchise have gone through a lot of gut punches in the last few years, but I'm telling you, we will remain true and remain resilient, and the gut punches will stop. And I like that very, very much. Linebacker Trey Flowers' shoulder knee was inactive. Jamie Collins, they couldn't trade him. They tried to trade him. If the league knows that a player doesn't want to play for you anymore and you're trying to trade him, they're not going to give you anything for that, man. So he stopped reporting to practice last week. He has a fully guaranteed $8.8 million from Detroit this year. 10 tackles and a tackle for a loss in the fumble recovery in back-to-back losses. But then Campbell said to the I don't know why you would say this to the press, and I think it's a coaching mistake. You keep this shit in your head. Don't let this guy know, because this is what he's going to do. He's already got $8.8 million from you. Think he gives a fuck? So he said it was time for a reduced role for Collins to the press. I'm going to play younger players on the roster, and he doesn't show up. This is another week where the secondary, after losing Okudah and Melifonwu, won't get tested too much by Fields. So the secondary is weak, but Fields can't. What can Fields do? And will Fields even start? Or will it be the Red Rocket? Bears coming off an ugly 26-6 loss at Cleveland. Fields got nothing going. 6 for 20 for 68 yards. Allen Robinson led the Bears with 6 catches for 27 yards. They ended up with just 47 total yards on 42 plays. They had 1 net yard passing. 6 first downs. 2 of them came on penalties. Fields was sacked 9 times for 64 yards, hit 15 times. 6 by Garrett, 5 by Clowney. Montgomery ran 10 times for 34 yards, caught 2 passes for 21 yards. They did get 5 sacks that included 2 from Khalil Mack, but Khalil Mack sprained his foot, and he went to the locker room. He came back out, which I respect very much, in a game that they were going to lose. Fields hurt his hand during the game. The x-rays came back negative. Dalton is still questionable. Defensive tackle Eddie Goldman and safety Tashawn Gibson are listed as questionable. Here we go. I find this game riveting. Lions, Bears, Bebsie, take it away.
If you would have asked me before the season who was going to win this matchup, I would have laughed and said, well, obviously the Bears. After what I've seen so far from both teams, I'm going with Detroit and the points here. A crushing loss last week, a crushing loss. And I disagree. They did call the timeout, but the clock kept running. It wasn't that they let it down. It was they called the timeout, and for whatever reason, the clock judge stopped running it. That's why there was no protest from Detroit on it. But okay. I didn't know that Goff said that after the game. It actually makes me kind of like Jared Goff, who I, until just now, thought he was a complete dink. But the reason I want Detroit in this is because that team's been fighting. That team's been fighting tooth and nail in every game so far. Yeah, they've had some injuries. Every team has. But the reason I don't want this Bears team is because of Matt Nagy. Adam Gase is gone. Matt Nagy is now the worst coach in the NFL. He is an absolute jackass. If anybody knows him, let him know that Bebsie thinks he's a fucking twat. How do you fail Justin Fields this bad? How do you not have any plays designed for his skill set? How do you trade up for a first-round quarterback with the talent and the skill set that Justin Fields has and just hang him out to dry? What is this, a learning experience for him? Matt Nagy is a fucking idiot, and it's time to fade Matt Nagy. I am moving on this. Detroit +3 is my first move this week.
I think that we are going to end up going head-to-head in this game. I think
That's fine, Jimmy.
I think I'm going to take advantage of what everybody saw last week. And supposedly it's already moved to 2.5 at Pinnacle. Sorry, let me just move back over there. Could it have moved already to 2.5? Supposedly, yeah, because it was at 3 plus 105. I get what you're saying about Nagy, but from a talent basis.
Doesn't matter. You could give him the all-pro team and he'd lose games. He's a fucking idiot. Literally, give him the best 22 players in the NFL. I bet he loses. I bet he loses to the Jags. He's a goddamn moron.
I am going to give you the line now because clearly money. What was this again? Let's just look at these tickets again. 71% on the money line, 71-84 on the spread. 78% of tickets on the lines, 94%. I really think that this is a spot where people are taking too much into what happened last week, and we knew the Ravens were in a terrible spot after a season-defining win.
Great comment from DX Father. I'm sorry, Matt Nagy. I didn't mean those things.
Nice things by you, Bebsie. Okay, let's line shop for you right now, Bebsie. Going to be on the Detroit Lions, and I will be going head-to-head with you. I'm going to wait. I'm going to be very patient here and watch this line go down, but I think it's going to go down too far. Come on, I need you now to work for me. This computer's got too many things open. Okay, here we go, Bebsie. We have at +3, the least amount of juice. Wow, and Heritage has moved to 2.5. The least amount of juice I can get you is -115 at Pinnacle. I've been told that it's moved to 2.5 at Pinnacle. I don't have that. You know what? Just to ensure this is not a stale line, let me pull up Pinnacle here. Can you, while I pull up Pinnacle Sports, I just don't want to give you a stale line. It's like a pet peeve in the industry and I don't want to be a part of that. So I'd rather give you the 5 cent more juice. I'm pulling up Pinnacle right now. Pinnacle, and let's go to NFL. Oh my God, why is this gonna do this to me? Pinnacle Sunday. Son of a bitch. Okay. I can't. What the hell? Oh, here we go. There we go. Okay. We have. Yes. I can give you the -3 +3 at -115. It's still there at Pinnacle. Okay. So Bebsie's on the board. Bebsie is on the Lions +3 at -115. And I am going to be on the other side of you. Not yet. I'm going to wait for more money to come in. And I really think this is an overreaction of what everybody saw last week.
Why don't you just do it then, Jimmy? Why don't you just fucking go head-to-head? Scared of a little action against old Bebsie?
Not at all.
Scared?
But I want a better line. And I want everybody to bet the Lions here. Caveman Bet says this is an under game, Bebsie, an under game. This total that opened, and all the money's coming on the over. So it's interesting that the money's coming down, that the total is going down. But it opened at 44. It's now at 42.5 or 42. What do you think of this total?
If I had to bet on it, I would side with Caveman here. I agree. I think this is going to be a dogfight. Again, I don't see either team being able to put up a ton of points. One side it's Matt Nagy's fault. The other side's a lack of talent. The other side, you got Swift and Hawkinson, and it gets pretty thin after that. So, yeah, I can't see myself taking the over. I would take the under if I have to, but I'm already head-to-head with Jimmy in this one. So what am I going to go crazy and bet more? Stress out through this whole game? Stress out for a Lions and Bears game? That's not going to happen.
B-Ball says, I think by kickoff, the spread will move down to 1.5. Then I'll trigger the Bears money line. You know what? Birdie's, I think, going to be right on this. He says, I don't think this will get below 3 by kickoff because Sharps will middle this game all week. And I think he's absolutely right. Sharps are going to middle this game all week. So, but not yet. And I want at least a 2.5. So I'll be watching this line very closely. Bebsie on the Lions +3 -115. He's on the board. I will be on the Chicago Bears.